students, today we discuss some of the more optional questions related to sociology because practicing more and more will help you to fetch good marks in optional examination because practice makes you perfect, and by writing more and more answer and discussing more and more questions you have an idea and a thought process so that you can write well in an examination and score a good marks and having a good chance at attending the interview. Now, today the question for the discussion is, what is privatization and how privatization promotes economic development? So first of all, we discuss about that what is privatization and how it promotes economic development, especially in context to India. There's a question, what is privatization and how it promotes the economic development in Indian economical scenario. What is privatization? First of all, we understand these two words. What is privatization? Privatization is the process by which the ownership of an organization transfer from government to the private enterprises. Today, the privatization helps to create various job opportunities. And why the India adopt the privatization? When India got independence, the problem for the government is that which sort of the economy we followed. In 1956, under the second 5-year plan by the PC Monopolis model, India adopted a mixed economic system in which the emphasis is on the cooperation between the public sector and the private sector. But the problem is that the government is too much focusing on the public sector and an economy is totally a dull economy or a closed economy in which there is no participation of trade between the two countries. In the year 1990, we faced the problem of the balance of the payment crisis. In the balance of the payment crisis, I want to tell you about that the burden of import is more as comparison with the exports. Import is so high and the export is quite low. So the India faced a problem of the balance of the crisis. In the year 1991, we adopt the model of LPG, liberalization, privatization and globalization. In this particular model, the economy is quite open and different sectors participate in the economic development of a nation, and we invite the private players for settlement of business in India, removing all the trade barriers and the economic barriers. After that, various sectors in the form of the private participation started investment in India. In case of each and every sector, we see the development. In case of the banking, in case of the infrastructure, in case of the education, the more and more allowances of the private sector participation is being there. So in the economy, the more and more foreign exchange is being come with the entry of more and more private players. How it promotes for the economic development in India? The purpose of the privatization is all about to increase the competition. There is being an intense competition between the public sector and the private sector. And the market survival theory is that whoever gives best and serves the customer will survive in the market. So there is a sense of the competition is being prevailing in India. Next is increase in the job opportunities. In India, as we all know, having a higher set of the population, public sector is not being capable of recruiting all the peoples. So by the entry of the private sector in India, private sector is being providing and creating the various job opportunities in India. Third factor is promoting the concept of the division of labor. What the division of labor is all about? In division of labor, it is being given the term economics by the Adam Smith. He says that the person who is specialized in a particular job, on the basis of the merit, he is being given to that job. So the private sector is being focusing on more and more division of the labor concept. He recruiting the individual on the basis of his merit and efficiency. Fourth factor is profit maximization. When we manage the resources well, there is a profit maximization also. And the fifth more factor is that more and more foreign direct participation. The purpose of the government is that more and more private foreign participation comes in the Indian scenario, so that we achieve the economic growth and the development in all the sector, so that we have to reduce the gap between the haves and the have not, and the maximum labor force participation in the form of employment opportunities, having a good amount of money comes in India from the various sources. So this is all about the concept of the privatization, that how it promotes the economic development in India. Basically till 1990, India basically focusing on a closed economy. There is no trade and all. But after the era of the 1990 till 2019, in these span of the 29 years, we shifted towards more and more development. So this is all about the concept of the privatization and how it promotes the economic development in India. Thank you all.